Assalamu alaikum grade 2. How are you kids? I hope you all are well. Okay, so tell me, did you watch your contractions concept video? Well, I am sure that you have, but if you haven't, to watch it, okay? So you know what contractions or short forms are, alright? Okay, now let's move towards a new very interesting concept. We are going to be learning about simple past regular verb. Yes, that is right. Just do watch the video very carefully. This is your assignment 11 and this is the concept of simple past regular verb. This is your student book that you will be needing, and in this book your page number 53 is all about simple past regular verbs. Okay, now before we move towards this topic, let's revise something. Let's see what are verbs. Okay, now let's go. So dear kids, what is verb? Yes, verb is action word, right? For example, let's have some examples of verb. Play. I like to play. Work. He is working hard. Live. I live in Rawalpindi. Or I live in Pakistan. Right? All of these words are verbs. Verb shows action. So I have only given you only 3 examples. There are so many more verbs out there. You need to just remember them and you need to have a good vocabulary. And inshallah, we will be learning it throughout the years. So verb is actions. Verb is actions. What we are doing, what we do, what we did in the past even. Alright, let's give a look at the verbs here. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed it and this much is clear on you. Now let's move forward. Dear students, verb has 3 types. Okay, you have already learned what is verb, right? And verb has got 3 types. Now you need to remember that it has 3 types. And those are known as the forms of verb. What are they known as? Forms of verb. Alright, it is first form, second form and third form. So there is first form, second form, third form. How many forms of verbs? 3 forms. Alright, first form is also called present form. Second form is also called past form. Third form is also called past participle. Okay, let's revise. First form, present form. Repeat after me, okay? First form, present form. Second form, past form. Third form, past participle. I hope you have repeated this after me. And what are these? These are the forms of verb. or the types of verbs. Alright. Now once more let's revise. First form, present form. Second form, past form. Third form, past participle. Okay? Okay, when we talk about past form of the verb, it has got two types as well. One is called regular verb and the other one is called irregular verb. Okay, regular verb and irregular verb. So let's repeat one more time. Verb is action word. They are actions. There are three types of verbs. How many types? Three. They are also called the types or the forms of the verb. First form, present form. Second form, past form. Third form, past participle. Very good. Did you repeat after me? All right. Now let's only talk about past form of verb because our topic is related to past form of the verb. Past form of verb has got two types as well. Regular verb and irregular verb. Alright, now let's move forward. Simple past, regular verb. Let's move towards our today's topic. Because we are talking about verb, that is why it was important to revise our previous concept of verb. We are going to talk about regular verbs. What kind of verbs? Regular verbs and in past form. So we are going to focus on the past form of the verb. When we write a present form of a verb, for example, play or live, we have to add ed or d in order to make it into past form. Alright. When we add ed to the present form of the verb, it becomes the past form of the verb. Or if we have e already with the verb, we add only d to it to make it into past form. And the verbs, when we add ed and d to it, they are called regular verbs. So how do you recognize regular verbs? By adding ed or d to the main or present form of the verb, we get the past form of the verb, which is the regular verb. This is present form of the verb. That is past form of the verb. And this is past form of the verb and the regular verbs. Alright, I hope you have understood it. Let's revise it one more time. By adding ed to the present form of the verb, we get the past form of the verb, which is called regular verb. Sometimes we add d when we already have the letter e in the verb, and when we get the past form of it, it is also called the regular verbs. I hope you have understood what are regular verbs. Let's give a look at it, the examples in your Oxford Discover student book, page number 53. Here, regular verbs. All right. Okay, always handle your books with care, okay? I'm going to use pencil but very nicely, all right? Okay, so if you look here, there are some examples given to you. So this is the verb listen. By adding ed, you can see they have underlined the letters E and D. It has become the past regular verb. Do you see that? Yes, very good. Okay, I hope you have understood what is simple past regular verb and how you understand it. Okay, now students, there is just one more thing. Simple past tense, it is a tense. It has 3 types of sentences. It has 3 types of sentences. How many? 3 types of sentences. Now let's see what kinds are they. Affirmative. Repeat after me. Affirmative sentences. They are simple or yes sentences, positive sentences. Okay. Next is negative sentence or no, not sentence. By adding no or not, we make negative sentences. And the third type is interrogative sentences, which are question sentences. We add a question mark in it, and for these we add full stops. Alright, so let's repeat. Affirmative, simple sentence or a yes sentence. Negative, no or not sentence. Interrogative, questions, sentences. So simple past has 3 types of sentences. Affirmative, negative, interrogative. Repeat after me. Affirmative, negative, interrogative. Very good. Now let's see the example of it. Now let's have the example of affirmative sentence first. I played Ludo last night. We are going to use the past form of verb by adding ed to play. We know this is the past form of regular verb. So I am telling that I played Ludo last night. I did this. I am saying yes, I did that. Okay? I did that work. I played Ludo. So it is an affirmative or a yes sentence. Let's move towards the next sentence, negative. The next type is negative sentences. So in past tense, I will say, I did not play cricket yesterday. Yesterday, the day before today. So what? I did not play cricket yesterday. So what happened? I did not do it. It is a negative, a not statement. That is, by adding did not to a simple sentence, we make it into negative sentence. There is one more thing you have noticed. Look at the word play here and over here. Do you see we have added ed over here to make it into past form. But in negative sentence, we wrote play as it is because the play is used with this word did. So what you have to do is, you have to remember that we use the words did not in negative sentences and we do not add ed to the verb. I could say I did not play, I did not like I did not work. These all are verbs, okay? But with the word did, we are going to use the plain verb. We are not going to add ed and d to it in past form. Is that understood? Now let's move towards the next type, interrogative sentences. These are the question sentences in which we ask questions. So now let's give a look at the example. In interrogative sentences, for making interrogative sentence, we use the word did in the beginning. We say, did you? Because I am asking you, did you play cricket yesterday? And a question mark. Yes, we use the word did in the start of the sentence. And what did I tell you about the word or verbs? We do not add ed or d when we are using the word did in a sentence. Alright, so this is interrogative sentence. Okay, affirmative sentences. We simply write them in affirmative form by adding ed or d to the verb in past regular verb, and we use a full stop at the end of the sentence. Then comes the negative sentence. By adding the words did not with the verb, we make the negative sentences in past regular verbs. In interrogative sentences, we use the word did in the start of or the beginning of the sentence, and then we add the question mark at the end. You need to remember these three types of sentences in regular verbs as well. Now let's have a quick revision what we have learned so far. Verbs are actions. Verb has three types or forms. Verb has three types or forms. First form, present form. Second form, past form. Third form, past participle. Second form of the verb has two types, which are regular and irregular verbs. Alright, now we are going to be talking about the regular verbs. And we understand regular verbs by adding ed or d to the main verb. We make regular verb. For example, play plus ed is played. Okay, and if we have letter e already with the verb, for example, if we have like, the letter e is already there, we are only going to then add d to it to make it into regular verb. Both of these are regular verbs. Okay, and then we learned that we have three types of sentences in past tense: affirmative, negative, and interrogatives. Alright, so this is all we have learned, and you must remember, and I hope that you would.
Okay, now I have a video for you. Let's watch it and understand it better.
Past simple verb forms are created by adding e and d in the end of the verb. For example, want, wanted. He wanted to buy a new car. Call, called. She called him on the phone.
Hello.
For verbs ending in E, we add D in the end. For example, change, changed, he changed his clothes. For verbs ending in Y, first Y changes into I, and then we add E and D in the end. For example, try, tried, he tried really hard.
Just do watch this video one more time and you will understand it very clearly. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves. Till next time, inshallah, I'll see you. Allah Hafiz.